so let's talk a little bit about intellectual property and leveraging that in the front end of innovation versus it being an afterthought, and how that shift can dramatically change business results.
Well, traditionally we don't put IP in the front end, but that's changing a lot of organizations today. And the analogy I like to use is actually a historical analogy, where a lot of people may not know that the Pilgrims didn't intend to end up in Plymouth, Massachusetts in November, late November. They actually intended to end up in Virginia, but a small calibration error in their instruments actually put them in a place that was much colder than they expected. And the innovation process, the front-end innovation process, is absolutely the same way, in my view, as it relates to IP. I can't tell you whether, if you put me in the front end, I can't tell you whether you're going to infringe somebody else's patent rights, or whether you're going to be able to own the end result, because we don't have a product at that point, which is a concept. It's a thought, and you're putting metrics against that. But what I can do is tell you, if you go this direction, the direction that you're kind of thinking about right now, there's a lot of people who own patents over there. And it may be a lot colder over there than you may have expected. In other words, you may end up getting sued at some point in the future because somebody else has staked out property rights there first. But perhaps if you recalibrate yourself, if you just turn the direction of the innovation process just slightly a little bit different, you'll end up with the same or a comparable ROI on your innovation efforts. But you'll be in a space. You'll actually the end of your innovation pathway will be a much different place than you would have been if you'd started going the other direction. And that may mean not only that you don't infringe somebody else's patent rights, but also that you can have a much broader sphere of ownership. That sphere of ownership is very, very important, because one does not enter into a long-term innovation effort hoping that their competitors are going to be close to them at the end of the day. They actually hope that they're going to be able to own a great piece of the result of that innovation process. And by putting intellectual property analysis and considerations at the front end, I can tell you, if you go this space, you'll have this much. You'll have a much broader sphere of ownership, which means that your competitors can't knock off your innovation. So there's a lot of benefits. I think what's really critical, though, which kind of turns people a little bit, gets them a little bit confused, I should say, is that if you bring me in the front end, I'm not going to tell you whether it's okay to do what you're doing. I'm not going to tell you whether you're going to own something in the day. But I'm going to tell you whether or not it seems, whether the direction you're going is going to lead to ownership and freedom to operate.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's powerful. Well, Jackie, thank you for your time and your valuable insights. And as you're this trailblazer in intellectual property strategy, wish you all the best, and we know we're going to hear a lot of great things about you.
Thank you very much.